I'd like to start off by thanking everybody who has worked on this. I think this is a truly important piece of legislation that we're doing to help alleviate some of the suffering in the state. I'm happy that we're declaring this emergency to help protect our residents by funding things like SNAP, heating and assistance programs, and other critical services that are being cut by the Trump administration. But I think it's important that we acknowledge another emergency, one that happens on a daily basis throughout this state when people sit down to pay their bills. The fact is that so many working people throughout this state struggle prior to the federal shutdown, prior to the federal budget cuts, struggling with the high cost of housing, struggling with the high cost of health care and food and basic necessities, the cost of living throughout the state. Struggling under an economic system that has seen our middle class hollowed out, jobs shipped abroad so the wealthy could profit more. Struggling under a political system that remains willfully ignorant of their problems. And while this is all going on, the state of Connecticut is hoarding money. In the past 5 years, we have made an additional $11 billion in pension payments on top of what we were supposed to make. We've amassed over $4 billion in our rainy day fund. And now we acknowledge that we are in a rainy day due to the federal cuts. And we set aside $500 million, only for the next 12 weeks, though, as if the chaos in Washington is going to end in that time, as if people are going to struggle any less in 3 months. I'm happy that we are doing this and meeting the immediate need of funding SNAP and other critical programs. However, it's time that we re-examine the way we do our budget in this state. We've heard a lot about how important it is to pay down our pension debt, and I agree 100%. But this debt was amassed over a century, and we're asking the current generation of taxpayers to pay off the whole bill. It's ridiculous while people are struggling throughout the state to feed their families, to afford better opportunity for their children. The fact is, Connecticut's fiscal guardrails are too restrictive and they're out of touch with the realities of what our residents face. They're keeping us from investing in our people and our economy. We cannot continue to hoard money while working people struggle every single day throughout this state. And I hope that it's time that we have a serious discussion about this in this chamber in the coming session. Thank you, Madam Speaker.